こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材は、鎌田大地擁するクリスタルパレスに関する動画です。クリスタルパレスは、昨年劇的な優勝を飾った FA カップに3回戦から登場し、6部のマックルズフィールドに2対1で敗戦しました。FA カップ史上最も大きいとも形容されるこの番狂わせは、昨年の王者であるクリスタルパレス相手でもあったことから、そのことの大きさが強調されています。スカイスポーツでは、このジャイアントキリングをどれくらい興奮して伝えているのか、チェックしてみましょう。
And he clears it again, Dawson. And that's the final whistle.
That is it.
And history has been made. What a result.
That is an unbelievable story that has happened at the Leasing.com Stadium this afternoon. Macclesfield, 14th in the National League North, 6th tier of English football, 117 places between the two sides. And today, playing the holders, Crystal Palace, in the whole of last season's competition, only conceded a single goal on their route to Wembley and that first trophy in 125 years of Palace history. But today, it is surely, in terms of upsets, in terms of giant killings in the FA Cup, it has to be the biggest of all, because Macclesfield and John Rooney, the younger brother of Wayne Rooney, have knocked out the holders Crystal Palace. They are players being lifted out to a man onto the shoulders of the fans who understandably have poured onto that pitch at the Leasing.com Stadium. That is an absolutely extraordinary result for Macclesfield, and actually, given the last few weeks, and you probably know about this story, but just such a tragic time for the club because their striker Ethan McLeod lost his life in a car crash on a way back from a game against Bedford just a few weeks ago. And John Rooney, in the build-up to this, spoke about the heightened emotions after that loss just a few weeks ago. And today, Macclesfield have done him the biggest of honours because they have beaten the holders, Crystal Palace, by 2-1. Extraordinary scenes at the Leasing.com Stadium. The holders are out. Macclesfield of National League North, the 6th tier of English football, are through to that 4th round draw on Monday evening. In terms of the FA Cup third round so far, is that extraordinary game earlier today, the 12:15 kickoff, the biggest of upsets we've surely ever seen in the history of the competition. Macclesfield, National League North, sitting in 14th, 117 places below the visitors, who were nothing less than the holders of the FA Cup, Crystal Palace. And it was Macclesfield in that 12:15 kickoff who won by 2-1, as you'd expect at the end. Absolutely extraordinary scenes for John Rooney and his Macclesfield side, producing the biggest giant killing in FA Cup history. Let's hear from some of the players now, including the captain and opening scorer of Macclesfield's first goal, Paul Dawson.
Fitness-wise, we're part-time. We train twice a week. They're a full-time side, and we have full-time sides in our league, and you can tell the difference. But I think an occasion like that, especially the fans behind us, they were so loud today, so that bit extra pushed us on. And I think we defended really well. I think the lads breaking forward are fantastic, and just all round, it's just a brilliant performance.
And was it you ahead of the goal? Was it you twiddling with his bandage? Was it you? Who was the player?
Yeah, so I'll take the assist for that.
Yeah.
Come on then. A bit of his thing ripped off, and then he started shouting at me because I was taking too long, and then he scored. So we'll take that all day.
Yeah, are you taking the assist?
Yeah,
you can have the goal as well if you want.
I'll take that. I'll tell all the kids at school it was me.
It was a great ball from Duss, wasn't it?
Great ball.
And what have you done? Push me into it. I've just fell into it, I think.
We'll take it, lad.
Who do you fancy in the next round?
I'm a Man United fan personally.
Well, we beat the holders, so we can beat anyone, can we? Anyone. United away, Liverpool away, City away, any of them.
Still doesn't feel real, but no, listen, to go and perform the way we did. I always spoke before the game about a little bit of hope in the FA Cup, but did they really believe it? Probably not. But when we went 1-0 up, you're thinking, can we get to half-time 1-0 up? And the messages to them at half-time was just managing the game. Can we slow the game down? Can we take the sting out of it when we can? And I thought they carried their messages out, unbelievable. But I thought, it's mad to say, but I thought we were the deserved winners on the day. I thought we were incredible. I thought from every single one of the subs who come on the starting 11, I thought he was outstanding.
I mean, has the history of the achievement kind of weighed down yet? You know, something that hasn't been done since 1871 for a 6th team to be a top flight team. And as you mentioned there, the way the team were able to do it was so impressive.
Yeah, it was. Listen, me and the staff, we can only give them a certain amount of detail and how we want to play, but it's them lads who go over that white line and they've got to put that performance in, and you know, we couldn't be any prouder of them. But to look back to see when a big upset as this, as you're saying there, I didn't know when it was that you've just mentioned, is something, you know, I'm really proud of on a personal note, but proud of the players as well. What they've created here is something unbelievable.
I think everything how I tried to explain the performance or find some excuses would be completely wrong. I have no words for this performance today, and it's not just losing, it's, you know, almost creating no chances in the attack. This was really hard to watch. Nobody who could dribble past one. No physical presence. Not being in the dangerous areas. No kind of quality today in our attack. This is what makes it so disappointing. Because, yeah, as you mentioned, in cup things can happen, but today, if you play like this, then things have to happen, and so that's why this makes it really, really hard.
Just an extraordinary day for Macclesfield. This really was David versus Goliath. And in terms of giant killings that we've seen down the years in the FA Cup, you think back to all those years ago, Sutton United against Coventry City. That, in terms of giant killings, is the biggest of all because it was the holders in town, Clinton.
Yeah, definitely. That Palace are the holders. I think it'd be bigger if they beat someone like a Man City or a Liverpool, but because it's the holders, it is giant killing from where they are in the National League North. I think it's a fantastic achievement. And you know what? The manager spoke there, Rooney. They fully deserved it. You know when sometimes you think the lower league teams, it's a smash and grab, they've had to defend.
Scrappy one, yeah.
Scrappy 1-0. There wasn't a scrappy 1-0.
It was silky from the Silkman, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were very silky. I like that. Not bad from you, Si. Very good, that. But, yeah, they thoroughly deserved it. And I think Oliver Glasner summed that up perfectly. They got what they deserved. They didn't deserve anything, Palace. They were nowhere near it. There was no fight. They didn't create anything. But that was down to Macclesfield, sorry. I thought they were fantastic. And, yeah, Rooney should be proud of his team, and so should the players as well and the fans, because I thought they were fantastic and made it a great atmosphere as well.
And also such an emotionally charged occasion as well, because it's only weeks ago that their striker, Ethan McLeod, tragically lost his life in that car accident. He was actually coming back from the game against Bedford as well. And they felt, from what I could see and just bits and bobs we were hearing, it was very emotionally high-charged as well. And I'd imagine so many of the team have dedicated that win to him. Just an awful, awful situation. But for a club who've been through the ringer in recent weeks, what a moment.
Yeah, it's a great moment. And obviously that was a very sad occasion. As I say, we send thoughts and prayers out to Ethan and to his family as well, because obviously it's devastating news. But yeah, a performance today, he definitely would be looking down over his team from above and thinking what a performance that was, because that was first class. I think his family were there at the end, so that was special when they went into the change room as well. But yeah, what a moment for Macclesfield, and thoroughly deserved it. Brilliant performance. As I said, they were the better team. They were on the front foot. They caused a lot of problems. And as I said it many times, when you get these lower league teams knocking out big Premier League teams, sometimes it's a smash and grab. Not this. This was a really positive performance. I thought it was fantastic. To a man, as Rooney said, and his substitutions. Everyone knew their job, and they'd done their job brilliantly. Everyone can talk about how bad Palace were. Macclesfield made Palace look bad. They made them look bad. So you've got to give the full credit to Macclesfield. I thought they were outstanding. And go and enjoy it. And as they said, I hope they do get someone like a Man City away, because it'd be good money for the club. It would be brilliant money for that football club. And, yeah, they thoroughly deserve it. And some of those players will never get the opportunity to probably play at them big grounds like the Etihad. I think it'll be fantastic. So I hope they get a good draw in the next round, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, everybody, you can understand in the town, the local area, has been talking about it on social media. I mean, the Macclesfield Town Council just summed it up with simply amazing work, fellas.
It was amazing. That's all I can say.
That was them summing up the situation.
Well done, and you thoroughly deserve it.
Well done, fellas.
Well
I think
done,
it's a bit more than that. It's magnificent Macclesfield. Yeah. Very quick word on your old side, Crystal Palace, because the headlines, rightly so, need to be all about Macclesfield. But there will be talk about Crystal Palace, because they're now winless in their last 9. They've gone to a side 117 places below them. and they didn't deserve to get something out of this game. So with Sunderland to come next, where does this leave Palace's season?
No, yeah, it's difficult. You need the likes of Muñez, Ismail Sarr, they got Kamada out. They need to spend and bring in more players. They didn't have Mateta because he couldn't play on that surface today. But that's no excuses, because the team that he picked, still, no disrespect to Macclesfield, still should be beating Macclesfield on any given day. So nowhere near good enough from Crystal Palace. And I always praise them, and I think they've had an outstanding season. I think Glasner's a brilliant manager, but the players, yeah, they were poor today. But yeah, it leaves them. They got a good draw against Aston Villa. Need to concentrate on the Europa Conference League as well, but they need players in. They need the players back from injury. Palace need to have their best 11 players when they're fit and firing, and they need reinforcements. They're already bringing Brennan Johnson. They need other players. He needs more help, Oliver Glasner.
How as a player, how as a head coach do you deal with a moment like this? Because this will dominate the headlines for days to come, because it's such an upset. But Crystal Palace, the holders, are the ones on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, but this is where you get paid the big money, and this is why the clubs are looking at you, Oliver Glasner, because we're talking about when you're doing well. Now when you've had a bad result, how do you get the players not back on side, but how do you turn it around and get a positive result against the next game against Sunderland? So yeah, it's down to Glasner. He's a top manager, and he will get them back winning football matches. But this is a huge blow for the football club, because I know in these cup competitions, he always plays his strongest team and wants to go far in it. But he just didn't have all of his players at his disposal this afternoon. But as I said, credit to Macclesfield. Brilliant. Hopefully Palace can win the Europa Conference League, and I'll have a big smile on my face come the end of the season, Si.
次は解説です。今回は下部リーグのチームだからとは言いませんが、選手や監督の話し方は特に英語非ネイティブにはかなり難しく容赦ないような話し方だったのでないでしょうか。私も一部怪しいところがありましたので、間違っていれば教えてください。今回はネイティブらしい表現もありましたので、本日の解説をチェックしてみましょ
う。Twiddling with his bandage.
トゥデルは指先で物を無意識にいじることを表す動詞です。特に手持ち無沙汰な時や緊張している時によく使われます。重要な作業ではなく、癖や暇つぶしの動作を指します。有名な表現にトゥデルヨサムスがあります。これは何もせずにぼーっとしているという意味です。とても自然な日常英語で、英米どちらでも使われます。実況やインタビュー英語を理解するのに役立つ表現です。
Twiddling with his bandage.Twiddling with his bandage.
Can we take the sting out of it when we can? And
タケッテスティングアウトオフは英語でよく使われるイディオムです。もともとのスティングは刺すような鋭い痛みを表します。そこから比喩的に勢いや怖さ、精神的なダメージを意味します。サッカーでは相手の攻撃の圧や試合の緊張感を和らげるときに使われます。例えば、ボールを保持したり、テンポを落としたりする場面です。また、早い時間のゴールで相手の勢いを削ぐときにも使われます。試合をマネジメントする文脈で非常に重要な表現です。実況やインタビューでは頻繁に耳にします。
Can we take the sting out of it when we can? And can we take the sting out of it when we can? And
It's a smash and grab. They've had to defend.
スマッシュ&グラブは、もともと強盗の手口を表す表現です。サッカーでは、内容では押されながらも一発で勝つ試合を指します。ボールを持たれ、守備に回る時間が長い展開で使われます。カウンターやセットプレーで得点し、その後は守りきって試合を終わらせるような展開であり、警戒チームが勝つ時の典型例として語られます。今回は、そうではなかったと対比で使われています。
It's a smash and grab. They've had to defend. It's a smash and grab. They've had to defend.
They're felt from what I could see and just bits and bobs we're hearing.
Bits and bobs は、とてもカジュアルなイギリス英語で、断片的な情報や小さな話を指します。公式発表ではなく、現場で聞こえてくる話というニュアンスで、解説や雑談でよく使われます。聞く限りではという前置きに近い表現で、確定情報ではないことを示す役割もあります。
They're felt from what I could see and just bits and bobs we're hearing. They're felt from what I could see and just bits and bobs we're hearing. For a club who've been through the ringer in recent weeks.
Go through the ringer は、ひどい試練を経験するという意味のイディオムです。もともとは、昔の洗濯の仕方に由来しています。当時は、洗濯物を2本のローラーで絞る装置があり、そのローラー部分をリンガーと呼んでいました。洗濯物がそのローラーで徹底的に絞られるイメージから、人が精神的に追い込まれ、ひどく消耗する状況を表す表現として使われるようになりました。身体的な苦しさよりも、感情的精神的なダメージを強調するのが特徴です。実況やインタビューで、感情の重さを伝えるときにとても効果的な表現です。
But for a club who've been through the ringer in recent weeks,
いかがでしたか。鎌田大地が離脱して以来、クリスタルパレスは1試合さえ勝つことができず、すでに9戦勝利がなく、鎌田が復帰するまで勝利できないのではないかとさえ思ってしまいます。FA カップは昨年の良い思い出しかない大会だったとも思いますが、まさかの史上最大とも言われる番狂わせを起こさせてしまい、早々に敗退しました。マックルズフィールドの立場からは、全くもって期待していなかったような、そんな反応にも思えますが、この勝利がどれだけ大きかったのかがよくわかりますね。鎌田大地だけでなく、サールもムニョスもマテタもいなかったこともありますが、鎌田大地の不在も大きく感じさせる試合が続いていますので、鎌田には早く戻ってきてほしいと願うばかりですが、クリスタルパレスが今後どのような試合を見せてくれるのか楽しみにしたいと思います。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。